bars and restaurants roll out their best wings, and our Mike Polk Jr. is, of course, there to try them all. What's New starts now.
And now, live from WKYC Studios, this is What's New.
And hello again, Northeast Ohio. Thank you so much for choosing What's New on this Friday afternoon. A very good afternoon to everyone at home and to my co-host, Betsy Kling. I'm Jay Crawford. Hello, Betsy.
Hi there, Jay. Yeah, we are going to get right to the news because we're starting off today with a tense afternoon for parents, students, and teachers at Bay High School in Bay Village. We're going to start with this breaking news today as teens were reunited this afternoon with their parents in Bay Village after spending most of the school day on lockdown.
We have team coverage for you tonight. Rachel Polanski talked with parents, but first Andrew Horansky joins us live outside the school with exactly what happened. Drew, what can you tell us?
What a tense afternoon it was, Jay and Betsy. Of course, we are live now along Wolf Road, just outside Bay Village High School, where the scene is clearly a lot calmer behind me. And what a way to end this week, because all afternoon today there was heavy police presence all along the perimeter of the school. The driveway jammed here. Nearby agencies responding, including Rocky River, Westlake, North Olmsted, police along the perimeter with big guns in the hallways, all because of a call that came in at 3 minutes to 1 to the Bay Village Police Department. Not 911, but to the Bay Village Police Department's main line. I'm told that it was a man reporting that an individual was in the bathroom with guns and knives and threatening to shoot up the school. The resource officer here was advised, police were dispatched, and the next thing you knew, the school was on lockdown for several hours, while inside students had their phones and the rumor mill was churning all along. Now, nearby schools were also placed on lockdown too, with Bay Village suspending all bus service today. Parents had to go get their kids here in Bay Village. From the air, you could see the heavy presence as kids left the main building for the buses. I can tell you my own cousins actually could have walked home, but instead they were placed on buses too, all part of the plan here. Meantime, a search of the school was conducted. Police found no weapons, saying that they responded to a threat that in the end just wasn't credible.
Our detectives will continue to investigate this matter. And as of right now, I know some of the rumors out there might have been some hostages or people in bathrooms, and that is false. There were no hostages. We found no, like I said, no credible threats, and no weapons were located.
So that is the good news. Now, the chief was asked today about possible threats, of course, coming from this Jay. She said one of them would be inducing panic. That is just the start. But of course, as one investigation sort of ends, you could say another one is beginning, because police, of course, want to know who placed that call.
Andrew, you mentioned it in the report. I understand you have a personal connection to two of the students there. I imagine a little shaken, but otherwise okay tonight?
Yeah, a goddaughter and a niece are students here at Bay Village High School. So as I was finding out through work to come to this story, I was also finding out through family what was happening inside. Definitely tense for all of us this afternoon, because you never know quite what you're walking into. Though I can tell you in one case, I was seeing some pictures on social media, one even involving a teacher holding a bat to protect the classroom. Kind of cool to see that, because you could see that they were really going into protective mode here, really trying to keep those students safe. And of course, we are lucky the scenario is what it was. A dangerous, potentially dangerous situation that turned out to be just a possibly hoax call.
All right, Andrew Horansky, thank you very much. Betsy?
Well, Rachel Polanski picks up our coverage. And Rachel, we've addressed the police side of things, the students' angle of this story, but parents have a very different viewpoint of what happened today, too. They have been reunited with their kids. What else can you tell us?
Hey, Betsy, what a stressful day for parents here. We are now at the Bay Presbyterian Church. Parents were instructed to come here to pick up their kids, and buses drove the kids from Bay High School here over to the church. As I was talking with parents, they told me that they were just so anxious throughout the day, scouring the internet, trying to find any updates they could, checking in with us here at 3 News, looking at the Twitter feeds, trying to wait for a text message from their kids. Meanwhile, kids told us that they at first thought that this was a drill. After time had passed, they realized that it wasn't.
Parents' worst nightmare when you get a call or a text saying that the school is locked down, but I'm just glad everybody's safe and everybody's okay.
It's pretty scary. Thought it was a drill the first 5 minutes of it, but then it kind of clicked to me that it was a real thing. But just glad everyone's okay and happy to be alive. So.
Well, you heard it. Happy to be alive. That's a really powerful soundbite there, and I think that really sums up how a lot of the students and parents were feeling here as they were reunited. We caught a lot of parents and students hugging as they saw each other for the first time today, and it was really touching stuff. We'll have more on that part of the story tonight at 6 o'clock, Betsy.
All right, Rachel, thank you so much, and we will see you on What Matters Most. We're going to also continue to follow this story as it develops through the rest of the evening. We're going to bring you more live reports ahead at 5:30, 6, and 7, and you can always find the latest updates at WKYC.com and, of course, our 3 News app. Jay.
Well, Betsy, we may be one step closer to getting another vaccine choice available very soon. Johnson & Johnson released late-stage data today, and though it doesn't appear quite as effective as the others, senior health correspondent Monica Robbins explains why that is not necessarily a bad thing.
There are some benefits to the Johnson & Johnson vaccine. First, it's only a one-shot deal. Second, it's made using adenovirus, a tried-and-true vaccine method. And it doesn't require those ultra-cold temperatures like Pfizer and Moderna. The drawback? Studies show it's 72% effective in the U.S. and even less effective against the South African COVID variant. But remember, the FDA's cutoff for vaccine effectiveness is 50%, and it definitely meets that parameter.
The way we have to think about it is that right now, if you're going to implement vaccination on a mass scale, the more choices we have, the better off things would be.
Johnson & Johnson says it will seek emergency use authorization from the FDA as soon as next week. If it's approved, it may be available by early March, giving us another weapon against the virus. But it's unlikely you'll have a choice which vaccine you get.
Because if you refuse at that point of time, perhaps you will not be eligible for anything for a longer period of time because you're back in line.
So also on the vaccine front, Novavax says British trials show their vaccine was 89% effective, and it was more than 85% effective against the UK variant, which we know is more contagious. They plan to apply for regulatory review in Britain and the European Union. No word, though, when they may try for the FDA here, Jay.
Monica, the bottom line is more options are a good thing, regardless of their effectiveness. It just gives us, right now, the demand is far outpacing supply. The more manufacturers that are making it, the faster we all get vaccinated.
Absolutely, yeah. The more choices we have, the better, the more arms we can get vaccinated. And as well, and just one more perspective, and I'll get into this more at 6, but keep in mind our average flu shot is usually, the last time it was 60% effective was 10 years ago. It averages in the 20s to 40%. So, and it still makes a difference, believe it or not. So 72%, we'll take it.
I absolutely will take it. Monica, thanks, and we'll see you again at 6 o'clock. Now on to your feed at 5, where our daily coronavirus numbers continue to trend big in the right direction. Our number of new cases down again, more than 550 fewer cases today than yesterday. Our positivity rate holding steady today at 7.5%. But once again, the big story with the numbers continues to be our declining hospitalizations. This is our 4th straight day below 3,000 patients statewide. If we can remain there through Monday, and right now it certainly looks that's the way we're going, Governor DeWine will move back the curfew yet another hour from 11 p.m. to midnight. Our daily death count is down again, but sadly, 64 more Ohioans lost their lives due to complications of COVID-19.
We have an update now on the layoffs at Highland Software, where more than 3,000 people work at the Westlake-based employer. According to reports, it brought in more than $500 million in revenue last year. So the news that the company will lay off more than 100 people was a shock to some employees. The company released a statement saying this was a restructuring as part of a multi-year plan focused on the future and, quote, "We have made the difficult decision to eliminate some positions on our current product delivery team. We're providing affected employees with assistance in their transitions," end quote. A Highland employee that didn't want to go on camera as she's now thrust back on the job market says they were let go via a pre-recorded Zoom call followed by their accounts being deactivated. She says they did eventually receive a follow-up saying Highland would be reaching out to them individually to discuss the offboarding process.
Part that really hurts, I think, is that it wasn't necessary. I understand companies have to make financial decisions, but they said this was their best year yet. So it just feels completely unnecessary. And in the middle of a pandemic, it's just cold. I think it's just cold.
Well, Highland also said they plan to hire more than 300 people in the future, but they haven't elaborated on where those jobs would be located. Well, still to come for us today on a very busy afternoon, the school fundraiser with a twist. Instead of buying textbooks or computers, this school is surprising its teachers and staff. Wait until you see this. And later, we all have the one thing we really can't wait to do when COVID is over. And we wanted to know what's yours. Well, we asked, you answered in big numbers. We're going to share some of your post-COVID bucket list items ahead. And of course, all eyes are on the weekend as the sun is shining with clear skies over Cleveland. What a beautiful evening, even though it's cold. But things are going to be changing. I have an updated outlook on exactly what we're going to be facing Sunday, Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, and beyond straight ahead in the forecast.
Welcome back to What's New. We know that teaching is such a difficult job. Doesn't matter the circumstances. But boy, this year, educators and essential staff certainly deserve a little extra thanks for doing everything they can for our kids during, well, a challenging time unlike any other. Breakthrough Public Schools, it's a network of charter schools in Cleveland, decided to give back in a very cool way. Take a look.
I would just say that they are just so adamant on us getting our education, and you can tell they really care.
The dedication of teachers on display more than ever before this year. Like so many, students at Breakthrough Public Charter Schools here in Cleveland have been remote learning during the pandemic.
It was really hard in the beginning. It was weird sitting in my bedroom at my desk doing schoolwork instead of, my usual seat in the classroom.
But whether she's home or on campus, school is about so much more.
By helping them prepare for success in life.
From Millie Nixon.
It's more of a family and a community than a school. That's what I see it as. So Breakthrough has allowed me to see just how capable I am and how, I would like to say how smart I am.
And that community is coming together to give back to their own in a very special way.
This year, I'm super excited to announce that 100% of all funds raised during the Potter Race are going directly to our teachers and frontline workers in a form of a COVID gratitude bonus.
That's right. This Saturday is the 10th annual Breakthrough Bash fundraiser, and all money raised will go towards a bonus for their staff.
And in the past, we always raised money to kind of expand our schools and build new classrooms and outfit the classrooms. This year we decided that everybody who's there serving scholars gets this one-time bonus.
Millie's played MC at the Bash for the last 3 years.
We are public schools that place the unique needs of students first.
This year, it too will be virtual.
It's still the same great message, still the same great energy. It's just in a different way.
But the connection here remains strong.
Even though kids pretend like we don't need our teachers and that we can figure it out ourselves, they have no idea how much we really appreciate and need them because they're building the leaders of tomorrow.
Millie, you most certainly are. Millie, you're a rock star. Thanks for all you do, first of all. Secondly, what a tremendous job the folks at Breakthrough are doing. All you have to do is look at the kids in that piece and know that they're getting it right. The 10th annual Breakthrough Bash will be live streamed. It happens tomorrow at 7 o'clock. Here's the good news. If you saw that and you want to watch and donate and help out, if you're interested in learning more, go to our website. We have all the links, WKYC.com. What a terrific story. Hello there, Betsy, doing double duty today. And I understand the weather's there's a lot going on.
There's a lot going on. It's those kind of days where, I get up and the first thing I do is I look at forecast models, and that's saying a lot. So I've been working on this since about 10 o'clock this morning, and it's been a hustle ever since. Let's take a look at how things are going to go tonight. We do have clear skies, but it is going to be cold. We'll be down in the teens across northern Ohio tonight, and that is how we will start the day tomorrow. We're currently in the low to mid-20s, but the wind chills are in the mid-teens, and certainly it does feel a little chilly out there, even with the beautiful sunshine, and we do appreciate the sunshine anytime we can get it. So if you have a chance to bundle up and get out, there's still time. But boy, oh boy, we're really starting to see things come together. Look at all this moisture streaming into the Plain States. Friends, that's the beginnings of what is going to become our big weather maker Sunday, Monday, and into Tuesday. There it is. By Saturday, we're looking at a storm system sitting in the Plain States. The pink line here, that is where we have the mix. That mix now looks to slide through the Ohio Valley, and you can see that on the kind of the northern end of things, we get stuck with snow. Also notice here, this East Coast little development, that is a huge part of this forecast and how everything's going to end up going down. But ultimately, by the time that swings by, we're also going to have some lake effect that comes into the play. So we've been watching the pressure changes with this storm system over the past couple of days. And you have to note these circles here in the middle. There's two different forecast models painted on here, Euro in the blue, GFS in the pink. And here's why this is important. Number one, this is how we track storms. But number two, look at this development that's going on down to the south. This is the East Coast low. Basically what happens, that's going to steal our thunder. All the energy shifts to the East Coast away from us. That takes a lot of sauce out of the snow potential for us. Past couple days, we've been comparing side to side the Euro versus the GFS, and you can easily see the differences. The Euro has much more snow. The GFS has much less. But as we take a look kind of here at the other forecast models that are now coming into range, you can see all of them have snow. That's a good thing. But the little differences in the placement of the heavy snow. That's where things kind of get tricky. We're going to go with this, though. We're looking at the possibility of the heavier snow south of Cleveland. I think Cleveland's going to end up with maybe 2 to 3 inches of snow out of this. This does not include any lake effect. That lake effect kicks in really Monday and through Tuesday. I don't know that we're going to get tons and tons of that, but it does look like system snow from Toledo down through New Philadelphia. That's going to be our cutoff line for where the heavier snow ends up falling. There's still a chance for a little mix, but I think that chance is shifted down to Columbus. National Design hour-by-hour forecast will be in the 30s tomorrow, and the clouds will be on the increase through the afternoon. The snow arrives tomorrow night, and then Sunday is when the bulk of that system snow will be hitting. That continues into Monday as we transition away from system snow into lake effect, and then that lake effect lingers into Tuesday. But temperatures stay chilly early in the week. We'll start to turn things around, and Jay, believe it or not, by a week from today, we're going to be talking about heavy rain potential and the possibility of flooding.
Well,
super.
At least it's going to be warm, and that won't be snow. Okay, so there was a lot going on there. I want to unpack something. Which of all the models predicts the least amount of snow?
All of them have snow, Jay. We don't get to cherry pick, unfortunately.
But I want to tell you that my favorite of all the models is the one that predicts the least amount of snow. Whichever that is, that's my favorite.
That's usually the one we call the outlier, and we throw it.
And that gets thrown out of the mix. All right, very good. Betsy, thank you. Coming up next on What's New, we've all thought about it 1,000 times. What are we most looking forward to doing when this pandemic finally ends? We asked you, and boy, did you respond. And we'll tell you what you're saying straight ahead. And I saw this video the other day, and I figured we have to share it. The song that drives 2 of these dogs crazy, and the reaction the third dog has to that noise. It's next.
From Charleston, South Carolina, high school principal Henry Darby picked up a part-time job to help his students and their families who are dealing with economic hardships during the pandemic. Since last summer, he's been stocking shelves at Walmart. This is on top of his full-time principal's job. He then donates that extra money to students who need it most.
When you've got children, you've heard sleeping under a bridge, or a former student and her child is sleeping in a car, or when you go to a parent house because there's problems and you knock on the door, there are no curtains and you see a mattress on the floor. And these people need, and I wasn't going to say no.
That man is incredible. What an amazing leader. The community created a GoFundMe account to help local families. And this morning, with the help of the Today Show, Walmart donated $50,000. That is going to go a long way. We need more of those kinds of people in our world.
Betsy, we throw the word around way too easily, but Henry is what a hero looks like. That's incredible. And that's how we leave you for another week of What's New. We're back.